All right, quiz review, sections 1 through 3, chapter 10. So we're looking at this drawing over here to the right, and we're just going to identify some things. So name the circle. Well, the circle is named by the center, and this point, in this case, it is C. So we just draw a circle with a dot in the middle and use the letter of the center. So C. Number 2, name a diameter. Well, since the diameter goes through the center, there's really only one piece that goes through the goes through the center, and that's right here, AB or BA, doesn't really matter which one you put first. But remember, it is a segment, so you use the segment symbol above. Name a radius. Now, a radius goes from the center out. So we have CB or CA. Now, could you call those BC and AC? Sure. Since it's a segment, not a ray, it's not going in a certain direction, so that's fine. All right? So either one of these are the radii. Okay? Now, name a secant. All right? Now, remember, with the secant, it is going through the shape. All right? It cuts through. So, what is cutting through the circle? Right there. All right? And it's going on forever. So, EA. And we put a line over it with arrows. All right? And we could call that AE. Doesn't matter. All right, a chord. Well, remember, a chord is really just part of a secant. So this right here from point to point, again, or AF, but that is a chord. It is like a segment of a secant. And a tangent, that is the one that just touches just the outside. All right? And so we call that DE or ED, doesn't matter, with arrows over it, because it is a line. It goes on and on. Okay? It did not ask this, but it asked for the point of tangency. That would be B. Okay, so let's just write that in for the heck of it. Point of tangency is point B. Okay? All right. So, in this situation, number 7, we have a right angle formed by these two sides, right? We have the hypotenuse right here. So, we have A, B, and C. So, A squared plus B squared equals C squared, all right? Well, what's my A? Well, my A is just X. What's my B? 24. And then my tricky one is, what's my C? Now be careful here. The entire length here is C. We know the outside part is 16, but there's also this inside part. That is X plus 16. Whatever X is plus the 16 is that hypotenuse. So remember, there's a trick here. You can go off to the side and foil this. I did not mean to do that. All right, this is 576. Now, remember, it's very simple. You're just going to square this term. You're going to multiply and double, so 32x, and then square this term. That was supposed to be a 2. Okay. Now, when I subtract x squared, that goes bye-bye. I subtract 256. And I get 32x equals 320. So when I divide by 32, x is 10. All right. On number 8, this is one of the simple ones. When you have a point out here in space and it goes tangent to the circle both ways, all right, you know it's tangent because of the right angle. then this is just set equal to this. That's it. 7x minus 13 let's try that again. 7x minus 13 equals 9x minus 23. I'm going to subtract 7x. I just like to keep my x's positive, which means I want to add 23. 23 minus 13 is 10. 9 minus 7 is 2. X. Divide by 2. X is 5. All right. Identify the given arc as a major arc. Okay, so remember that is greater than 180. A minor arc that is less than 180. Depends on how you read those symbols. I don't want to be confusing. So major, more than 180. Minor is less than 180. And a semicircle is exactly 180. So you're looking for the diameter. When you're looking for a semicircle, you're looking for the diameter. Okay? So BC, again, I like to highlight these. So BC goes this way. All right? Well, that is a minor arc. All right? We'll come back and do the numbers. DBE, as soon as you see those three letters, you know it's a major arc. So DBE. So we start at D, go past B, and go to E. That's a major arc. AED. Again, starting at A, going to E, and going to D. Now, this is a tricky one. With three letters, it can be either a major or a semicircle. If you notice AD is the diameter, that makes this a semicircle. And then DE, this little piece right here, that's a minor arc. Now let's do the math. Well, we know that AED is a semicircle, 180 degrees. So ED, right here, is basically 180 minus 63, which is 117 degrees. All right. Now, if we look at AB, it's 47, and DC is 23. Well, if we add those together, all right, and subtract from 180, we get BC. And BC is 110 degrees. Semicircle's easy. That's got to be 180. And then DBE, we're going to add, there's two ways to go about this. You can add up 23, 110, 47, and 63. Or the quicker way is just to do 360 minus ED of 117. That's a quicker way. And you get 243. You can get there by subtraction of two numbers or addition of a bunch of numbers. It doesn't really matter. It's your choice. Okay, 13 and 14. Tell whether or not the gray areas are congruent. All right, so the gray areas, hopefully you can tell by this, it's the lighter ones. So we're talking about HJ and IK. Well, if you notice, we have vertical angles here. Well, guess what? We have vertical angles here also. So the answer is yes. Vertical angles are congruent. And they are in the same circle. Now, number 14 is tricky, all right? Because the angle is 90 on both of them. But you can kind of clearly see that this is not as big as this because the bigger circle is bigger. So that same arc is going to be bigger, all right? So the answer is no, because circles, this would be an S, are not the same size. And last but not least, if you need to catch up, just hit pause. Find the measure of arc AB and DC. All right, so AB is right here, and DC is right here. Now, notice that we have a semicircle. Diameter, which means this half is 180 and this half is 180. All right? Well, the blue and the purple make 180, and the red and the yellow make 180. Right? So therefore, the measure of AB, arc AB, is simply 180 minus the 115, which is 65 degrees. And the measure of BC, arc BC, is 180 minus 22, which is 158. And that's it for your quiz review.